Good day mga igsoon. Let's continue our study on Christ-centered culture. So kahapon sa ating previous devotional, napag-usapan natin ang tungkol sa shame-based culture. So ang highlight nito is that yung upbringing natin bilang mga Pinoy is mostly shame-based. So kung kinokorrect yung mga pagkakamali natin, hindi lang yung behavior ang naitatama, kundi pati yung identity natin or yung dignidad natin, yung ating sense of value and self-worth ay nasusugatan. Okay? So this is not what Christ wants us to do. And this is not the example He showed in His life here on earth. So, ang Christ-centered culture ay tinatawag na honor-based. So in an honor-based culture, may separation between a person's identity and a person's behavior. So, ang kinokorek lang dito sa honor-based culture ay yung wrong behavior. Okay? Hindi nadadamay at hindi dapat talagang idamay ang identity at ang halaga ng tao. Okay? Because sa mata ng Panginoon, lahat naman tayo ay merong value. Okay? So, honor-based culture is a very Christ-centered, gospel-centered, and biblical kind of culture. So let's see a few passages that affirm this. Sabi sa 1 Peter 3:9, don't repay evil for evil. Sabi rin ni Paul sa Romans 12:17-21 na don't be overcome by evil, but overcome evil by doing good. Okay? So, ang principle dito sa Romans 12:17-21 is that we should not take revenge towards people who offended us. Okay? So, instead, magpakabait tayo sa kanila. Let's do the right things. Let's do good things to them. Things that will honor God. Even if those people have offended us. Okay? So, yung vindictiveness or yung lagi tayong naghahanap ng paghihiganti para sa mga nagawa sa ating masama, it has no place in an honor-based culture. Alright? Now let's look at some examples from the life of Christ. So katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, Jesus exemplified this honor-based culture in His ministry on earth. So let's look at John 1:42. Dito sa passage na ito, Jesus met Simon Peter for the first time. And even if Jesus knew about Peter's personality issues, and even if Jesus knew that Peter would deny Him 3 times eventually, okay, He did not choose to focus on those defects. Instead, Jesus focused on what Simon Peter could become in the future. In fact, tinawag ni Jesus Simon Peter na Cephas, or Peter, which means rock. So ano ba mga katangian ng isang bato? Solid, hindi basta nabibiyak, okay? At malakas. Very opposite to what Peter's personality currently is. Pabaling-baling, okay, paiba-ibang isip. He has a lack of self-control. He's very impulsive. Yung personality niya hindi stable. So, yung pagka-describe ni Jesus kay Peter the first time they met is talagang salungat dun sa totoong personality ni Peter. Okay, but even then, Jesus chose to affirm this potential of what Peter could become in the future. Next example, let's go to John 1:45-49. This is when Jesus met Nathanael for the first time. Pero bago sila nag-meet, si Nathanael, sinabi niya, or kumbaga na-insulto pa niya si Jesus indirectly by making a snide comment about Jesus' birthplace. When Philip told Nathanael that the Messiah was from Nazareth, sabi ni Nathanael, Nazareth? Can anything good come from that place? So parang ininsulto niya yung pinanggalingan ni Jesus, di ba? But when Jesus met Nathanael, even if he knew what he said before, he even affirmed his character and said Here is a genuine son of Israel, a man of complete integrity. So ang nakita ni Jesus doon sa kay Nathanael is not the offensive thing he did, but rather his character, which is, yun nga, honest siya, meron siyang integrity. Okay? So that is what Jesus affirmed in this person instead of the bad thing that he did. Now, third example, John 8:11. Ito yung kwento ng woman caught in adultery. So by the end of it, Jesus showed two things to the woman caught in adultery. Number one is grace, and number two is truth. First, Jesus showed grace to the woman to affirm that the woman has value even if she made a mistake. And after that, Jesus hit the woman with the truth that she has sinned, okay, and that she should not continue living that life of sin. Okay, so tingnan natin yung sinabi ni Jesus sa verse 11. First is, neither do I condemn you. Second is, now go and live your life of sin. So, andun yung grace and truth in one sentence. Neither do I condemn you is Jesus showing his graciousness. Now go and sin no more is Jesus showing his truthfulness. Okay? Kasi talaga namang may kasalanan yung babae. But because of grace, Jesus gave her a chance to live life again. But he told the woman to stop sinning, okay, so that she may live a better life later, after she left. So yun yung grace and truth, okay? Jesus only addressed the sin of the woman, but he did not make a personal attack on the woman's character. So na-preserve yung kanyang identity. So through these examples, we see the principles of this so-called honor-based culture. So makikita natin three things. Number one, every person can be redeemed because nobody is perfect and everyone is a work in progress. Okay? Kumbaga, God is not finished with us yet. He continues to shape us and mold us into who He wants us to be. At kung nag-stumble tayo, nagkakamali tayo along the way, it's okay. Hindi naman tayo perfect. Okay? And Jesus knows that we are not perfect. And Jesus is gracious enough to forgive us and to help us back up on our feet when we fall. Okay? Second principle. Despite people's mistakes and wrongdoings, we should still honor their worth no matter what happens. So, kung nagdidisiplina tayo ng tao in an honor-based culture, hindi pwede na pinuput down natin yung kanyang value. Okay? If the person did something wrong, i-correct lang natin yung behavior without putting down the person's worth. Next principle is something to do with the correction of wrong behavior. So, sa honor-based culture, ang pagko-correct ng wrong behavior is through consistently applied consequences to wrongdoing. Okay? So, hindi dapat kumbaga pinoprotektahan yung nagkasala sa consequences ng kasalanan niya so that the person can also learn from his mistakes. Okay? So, in an honor-based culture, consequences are key in correcting wrong behavior. So, with that, the person would learn from his own mistakes, and yung motivation niya to be better next time or to not make the same mistake next time is from within. Okay? It's not because may nang-pressure sa kanya from the outside, or not because may nag-put down sa kanya or may nagpahiya sa kanya from the outside, but because he learned his lesson through the consequences of his mistake. So yun po ang honor-based culture. So I hope that we can apply this in our daily lives and in how we deal with other people, especially our families. Kasi ito talaga yung gusto ni Jesus na ipakita natin sa ibang tao. Okay? Grace and truth. Like the kind of grace and truth that He showed us already. So yun po ang ating devotional for today. For our next devotional tomorrow, ang topic po is being a genuine disciple of Christ. So malalaman natin kung paano ba talaga maging totoong follower ni Jesus at ano yung mga katangian ng mga totoong disipulo ni Kristo. God bless po sa atin lahat and goodbye.